Hey everyone, this is Wes from COMETA, and today we're going to do one of my favorite things in the world, and that is to make a drum video. I've got two drum fills I'd like to share with you today, and as with previous videos, I want to take you through the thought process of not only playing, but learning the fills as well. I would call these two fills definitely on the intermediate to advanced level. If you're a fellow drummer at home watching, my goal is not so much that you figure out how to play the part exactly. You might not be interested in that, although I will play them slowly if that's what you'd like to do. Rather, the main takeaways I want are two things. One, that you figure out how to take a core rhythm of a fill, sort of move it around the drum kit. The second thing would be tips on how to trick your mind into playing two parts that are overlaid on top of each other. So here we go. So the first fill I'm going to play for you is from the song Red and White, and it occurs halfway through the verses where the energy level really kicks up a notch. So I'm going to play it for you first, the bars leading up to that fill, so you get an idea of what comes before. So here we go. So now I'm going to play the fill itself slowly so you can see how I'm moving around the kit. So here we go. Now I'm going to do the same thing, regular speed of 160 beats per minute. So keep in mind, for that part, what's going on with the guitar is something like this. It sounds like da 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 da. Now, if I were just playing whatever came out of me, just coming up with the fill, I'd probably play something to that guitar part like. But because I have input from other band members as far as writing the drum parts, we have this way cooler sort of part that's juxtaposed over the guitar part, and it's just not something I would have thought about as a drummer. So, more on the writing aspect later. So now here's the whole sequence at full speed. So this next part of the song happens right before the bridge where the piano comes in, and it's basically a 4-measure long massive build up for that bridge. So I'm going to play the measures leading up to it. So now I'm going to play the fill at a slow speed of 95 beats per minute, and notice that you have this solid 8 on the floor bed of kick drum going on throughout the entire thing pretty much. So here we go. So here's the fill now at regular speed. So sometimes when I'm learning a particular fill, it's helpful for me if I isolate certain parts of what's going on and leave other voices silent. So, for example, here's the part with no kick drum. So sometimes it's easier if you isolate certain voices, okay? So for example, if I'm playing the part with no cymbals, I'd probably still want to air the cymbal parts, okay? That's if I'm trying to get a better idea of like what the kick, snare, and toms are doing. Sometimes it's just a helpful way of learning a part. So now here's the whole sequence at full speed, and then we'll cue the music so you can hear how it all lines up. So before we go, I just want to share with you a couple pieces of advice as far as writing and playing fills, more about the writing. I think it's a good idea if you're in a band as a drummer to ask for input from your other bandmates as far as the kind of rhythmic impact points that they're going for. Usually what happens as a drummer when you're writing a fill is you just play whatever sort of flies out of you in the last measure or two before a change. So while it's a good idea to be spontaneous, be in the moment when you're coming up with fills, you also might want to consider maybe coming out from behind the kit, get a notebook or something, write down some ideas, work with your bandmates as far as what they're going for. Beyond that, you might also want to consider maybe using some music writing software. COMETA uses a very simple program called Tabit. It's a MIDI tabbing program whereby other members of the band can, you can write pretty much any of the parts that you need in a song. You can write drum parts. It's a very easy program. You don't have to know how to read music, and it's just another way of coming up with a part. You can play it back and hear it. You can also make changes to it. So what I'm saying is, don't be afraid to come out from behind the kit when you're putting these parts together. So that's it for today. I hope if the video wasn't particularly helpful, it's at least fun to watch, because I have a lot of fun playing this stuff. Definitely leave a comment or a question if you have one. Please subscribe to our YouTube page, and I promise we will have the next video out very soon. Thanks, guys.